My name is Ed Crothers. I want to welcome everybody today to Cedar Brook Farm. I got some people that just drove from Pennsylvania down for us to find some paint issues in their buckskin gilding here. Now, the owner's name is Shirley Hahn. And then her husband, Terry Hahn, and he looks like he's drove 8 hours to get here. Now, the biggest thing is, he says he's driving 8 hours back, so he's definitely a better man than me. But some of the things that she's talked to me about on the phone, on this gilding, he was kind of tripping on his front right. Left front, since I got that mixed up. Now, I will say one thing, you don't make him any prettier than this horse. So they're bringing down here today to see if I can kind of find some reasons why.
It just shut off.
Hey, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over and show all the paint issues and talk to the owner and see if we can come to a conclusion what's causing some of his problems. So right now I'm going to kind of start on his back here. We have a little pain there. I expect back here really bothers him. Just by the way he's standing. Okay, buddy. No, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right. His back is totally locked up. You know, this spine's supposed to move just like ours. And his is pretty much ain't going no place. I'm going to check over here close to the withers. We got definitely some discomfort here. Get to the feathers. Okay. You know, the funny part is, you know, I'm sitting here probing on this horse. Can you imagine having a sore finger and you got some idiots keep pushing on it? So it's really hard for these guys to let me push on it, but I got to push on it to figure out what's going on. All right. Now this guy here definitely got an ulcer. But I still think he's got something going on with the sternum. And I don't mean that the sternum's out. A lot of times these guys will get their whole barrel shifted to one side to the other. Now, when that happens, then you have one of the front legs not able to lift and move like the other side, which throws them off. They don't want to pick it up. When they pick it up, when the whole barrel of the sternum's pushed to one side, it hurts really bad. So this guy's got some poles out. Neck, some problems in his neck, withers. He has no movement at all in his spine. The pelvic, one side's higher than the other, and he's got some other discomfort here. And I didn't check the tail, but the tail, he's got some problems in the way the tail's laying. So this guy has a lot of issues to make him not want you to do anything with him. And this front shoulder here is bothering him too. So what I'm going to do now is go to part 2, and that's when I'm going to fix him. So check everybody later. See you in part 2. My name's Ed Crothers. I want to welcome everybody to Cedar Brook Farm. This is part 2, which actually I'll be trying to fix some of the horse's issues. And in part 1, I talked about the spine is totally locked up. Also talked about the sternum is the way it looks right now is pushed over to the left, which the owner said that the horse kind of drags to the left sometimes or stumbles. Also, you know, a few years ago, this horse had ran over the hill, she said, and went sliding into the fence and kind of set back on his tail, which is probably some of the problems we're seeing here. And also, she had talked about 2 horses running in the field, one zigged, the other one zagged, and they both hit each other. Which she said he seemed like he was fine, the other one was kind of sore for a few days. Now, also, this owner, who is going to say he's fantastic, loves her horses because she took the horse to the vet to make sure we have no knee, hocks, or any other joints that could be, you know, interfering with some of the problems this horse has. So she went over the Call of Duty. Now the vet said he has a
clean. There's no problem with any of his joints or anything. Is that correct? Yeah. So, you know, this is an owner that's definitely went over the call of duty to make sure why this horse is having some of these issues. Which you look at the horse, it's a good looking horse. So I can see why. So, and also had the pole out. You know, also we got some problems here in the back end. And I'm gonna work on them now and show you when I fix them. And we'll go from there and see what happens. Good boy. Okay, buddy. A little more. I guess. And when their pelvic is kind of out, you know, a lot of times it's hard for them to stand square. Which this side, here's the top and here's the other top. So you can see we're probably a good 1.5 inches. This side's higher. And all I'm going to do is just kind of move the pelvic to try to get it lined up. And of course this video is not to show you how to do this stuff. It's just show you what happens after you know, meet with a chiropractor and get some of these issues fixed that you can't see. There we go. Now we're back down. And definitely with some of his incidents, I can see why things are not lined up right. It's okay. I know, buddy. Keep pushing on your sore places, but I can't figure them out until it's okay. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Good boy. It's kind of funny, I hit him with a hammer and say, it's okay, boy. It's about like when I was a kid, my dad always would whip me. And then when I wouldn't stop crying, he said, if I didn't stop crying, he'd whip me again. That's pretty much what I've just did here with this horse. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. Okay, it's all right. You're all right. It's okay. And a lot of times, it's really hard to realize that this tail's out because we all don't really think about the tail. Of course, this guy's tail is out, but of course, going down the hillside, running into the fence and sitting on his tail probably didn't help. And it's probably more up here. I mean, I would expect him, when you ride him, to be a little goosey and want to keep his back end underneath himself a little more than he should. Does he kind of do that sometimes?
Yeah, he'll drag that hind foot.
Yes,
right
okay. It's okay, buddy. You're okay, hold on to me. It's okay. Salaka, eat, mama. There we go. It's all right. And, you know, you should be able to grab a horse's tail with not a whole lot of resistance. Well, to go, he had plenty of resistance. I mean, he, you know, and then he's not lunging forward of, you know, hurting. So I'm able to stick it straight up, and he's not trying to get away from the pressure of the bank. Now I'm gonna work on this side here, right there. Good boy. Here we go again. Good boy. When hit the hammer. All right. And you can kind of see here where, you know, it looks magical. You know, the soreness has gone away. Which, what I've done here, I've lined everything up, got the pelvic lined up, and sometimes they'll get these ligaments and tendons that kind of push against each other. When I hit with the hammer, you know, hit with the hammer, it bounces apart, and it's instant relief. So I'm not doing any tricks with my stick. Okay, now we're gonna work on the back here. You know, okay, I'm sorry. And a lot of times people say, well, that's what they're supposed to do. You push on my back, I'm not gonna jerk around unless it hurts. Okay. Good, right there. see if I got it broke loose enough to move it, be able to move the spine a little better. I'm still locked up back there a little bit. Okay. Good. Got one spot over here. And right up here, where the backbone goes into the pelvic, I think we've got a little problem right here. Now, when you ask him to lope, does he ever kind of give you a couple crow hops when he first starts?
No.
No, you don't?
To pick up the left lead, he'll turn his head this way and really, he's look like a rocking horse.
Okay. Now we got you going here. Now, see, now his spine's, with just a little push, it's coming over. You're okay, you're okay. Okay, good boy. You're okay. And it's always kind of good sometimes for you to ride and loosen the shoulder up. But the biggest thing you got to remember is you let them stretch in your hand. Now sometimes I'll adjust the shoulder by really pulling it out here. Don't do that kind of stretch with your horse because it really stretches things and can cause you more problems. So you just kind of bring it out and let him kind of push forward, and then you let his foot down. Now this other side, I'm going to stretch it probably the way you should not do every day, because this whole shoulder needs to come up and really come out. Trying to fix something, that's okay. But on your everyday stretch, you just bring on knee, you come right down here and let him kind of push and let him kind of work into the stretch. What you can see here, he's very painful right there. And the cool part with these horses, to be in the discomfort that he is, that you can't see, which you have vets and other people try to locate some of these areas and fix, and they keep coming back. We ourselves could not operate daily with this much stuff going on. So we gotta give you guys a lot of credit. They suck it up probably more than we can and try to perform and do your duties. Oh. And the thing, which now he's not even getting away from, how hard I push now. And the other thing, these horses too, I didn't want to forget this, after you fix a horse like this and all these pain issues, it's really hard. It takes a few days for their mind to say, I don't hurt. So a lot of times, after you fix them, you got to do some exercises to let them know that when I turn my head to the right, it doesn't hurt. When I lift my head up, it doesn't hurt no more. And their mind is hurt for so long that I don't do this because it hurts. So then you have to do some exercises to get them to understand that it doesn't hurt anymore being normal. You're okay. Good. Now lick your lips. Oh, you like that. And which this horse just got here an 8-hour ride, come out here, did really good. A little nervous when I started working on it, but you're starting noticing the things that I'm fixing, how he's going to start dropping his head, he's going to start relaxing, and he's going to start, feeling better and act the way, he's been trained to act. We got down here in the bottom of his chest, he's got this vertebrae down here is out. And it's very hard to manipulate this down here. So I'm gonna try to lift his head up and try to see if I can pull it up and move. Oh, there I go. What do you think? That better? So I got his neck pretty clean now. The pull was mainly out on this side, which I adjusted it. I'm still going to bend his head this way here, just to. There we go. He said it's been a long ride down here. Okay. You know, we got the back end, and the funny part is he had a lot of stuff going on, and there was, you know, a lot of this stuff he probably could have dealt with enough to do, you know, a pretty good job outside of now with him kind of tripping easier. I was on the left, correct? Yeah, tripping on the left. Now I fixed the top line here. Now we'll see how tender he is underneath. You know. And you see, it's okay, I won't do it again. So he's very tender underneath there. I mean, he might have also an ulcer, but his whole barrel is pushed over here to the left. So that explains why the left is not able to lift up, because he has this pressure kind of behind the shoulder a little bit. So I'm going to get the owner to hold him if she doesn't care. If she doesn't want this horse, I will take him.
I don't think so.
Okay. But if you notice, he's starting to calm, he's getting more relaxed, and now he doesn't care where I probe. Before, he was really concentrating on like, okay, where's he gonna touch me? This is my youngest son here, Dakota. He's been with me for how old are you? 19. He's been with me for 19 years. And we call him Sasquatch. Feel it? Yeah. Okay, and you know, when I say like the sternum don't get out, it just gets shoved over and gets a little pressure on it, and it's not in line. Now I'm gonna reach back underneath here, and I'm like sideways, just well. Good. Okay, I'm pushing very, very hard, and I have no reaction. I mean, I'm really pushing. Now, when I say this horse has an ulcer, I'd probably put him on the ulcer meds for 30 days, just for precaution. But it's just hard to believe that when you put a saddle on this horse, that he never crow hopped or got nasty when he put it on. Because you seen how much pain he was in. I just barely touched him in the beginning because he was hurting so bad. It's all right. Most horses that have this much discomfort, they do a lot of bucking, they do a lot of, you know, trying to get away from this pain underneath. But he's just really super horse. Now there's probably going to be a few things to follow up with him, but at this point, I think we did a bunch of changes here. That's going to help him. And just want to tell everybody, check you later. See you next time.